League of Excellency Shoutcasting, as best as I can do it, as Otter's still figuring out what he's doing. Otter, how you doing? You're fine. You actually sound pretty good, dude. You might be a little bit quiet, but I can maybe up you a little bit. Try it now. Just talk for a second. I think it should be fine. You gotta talk kind of loudly, but yeah, if you move your levels up, it should be fine. It'll be hashtag good enough. That's all that really matters. I think I'm pretty dark, but that's okay, guys. That's okay. All right, so starting us off, carried by AFK, going to be banning out some of these bot laners, the Morgana and the Misfortune. As for the side of Team Swarm, banning away a Yasuo and Warwick, both strong in their respective lanes. Usually Yasuo played on the top side with Warwick in the jungle, but Yasuo also played in the mid lane as well. I don't know if these teams are doing some investigation on OP.GG and their laning partners, but considering that Boxy is in this game, I'm going to assume they're just banning strong champions. Shout into the void. How do I get to this Discord? TGM, it is down below. If you drop down on the stream, there is a link, but I'll also drop you that Discord link as well, so that way you can get it. Social Bond, thank you for posting it as well. You're doing my job for me, and I should rely on my mods a little bit more. So, with Akali and Annie, the last two bans from both of these teams, let's see what they decide to pick. We can talk a little bit about carried by AFK. We've seen some of these players before play, and excited to see what they bring out. Let Me Play 2013. Well known for support in that bottom side. Delicious has only played once before. I don't think we have anything on record for what they have played. No, we do not. Let's see here. Fallen Angel, though, definitely well known for a Garen on the top side. And as Garen wasn't banned away by Team Swarm, there's still an open opportunity for the side of carried by AFK to pick that up before it goes into the second ban phase. The other thing is that Team Swarm has never been seen on this stream before, welcoming Ryan, Neb, Never Say Forever, which I love that name, Snip Itali, like Snip Fatality? Sniptality? Sniptality. Oh, Snipetality. Snipe, like Fatality, but Snipetality. Thank you for that column. That E equals 3. Steezy Doinks, that's another awesome name as well. Coming out from Team Swarm, showing up from Reddit, wanting to play in tonight's scrims. Both these teams are fairly even when it came to ranked, so I'm excited to see what they can bring against each other as they're going to grab an Ornn and a Lee Sin. Ornn super popular in the top lane as a hyper tank, and jungle Lee Sin always impactful regardless of what the meta is. All right, well then let's just jump into a private Discord call. Let's see if that fixes it. Jump up. Oh my goodness, so upset.
Does this sound better?
Oh, much louder, much louder, 100% much louder.
It's like really.
That's so interesting. I'm gonna have to have Xeno look into that, but you're a lot louder and a lot better, so I absolutely approve of this. We made a good change. It's okay. It's okay. Quite all right. You're good. You're good. Just cast and don't even worry about it. Never Say Forever, grabbing the Rise for the side of Team Swarm. They're also going to grab the Urgot, or ban away the Urgot, which is extremely strong. We've seen it several times as the world's play-ins are happening and are doing such a good power job when he gets played in Worlds. Jhin banned away by carry AFK, picking off some of those bottom laner AD carries, people that could make strong engages against a Kai'Sa. Would love to see if they're going to continue that train and ban out some more of the ADCs, as they already have picked their ADC for the team. And Kai'Sa wanting to engage deep, looks like they should be banning some more AD carries that would make it difficult.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix it.
Your mic is good, dude. I don't know what you're doing.
It's like...
What's wrong with it?
It's like really low quality.
It's fine. It sounds good on my end. Do not worry about it. Let it go. Oh my goodness. All right, Lucian being banned away by carried AFK as well. There we go, picking off that 80 carry like we just talked about. Now we still have support that needs to be picked up by carried by AFK, and I'd like to see a strong frontliner from them. Someone that's really going to be a powerhouse like a Braum that can absorb a lot of the initial pressure from Team Swarm and open up opportunities to get to that backline. They have a massive assassination team. They're going to grab Kale. That is so interesting. There it is, the Braum. Hey, talk about analyst. Hey, a poison cure. Welcome, welcome. Calm Poison showing up in the chat. Cod Diddles grabbing the Kale. This is so fascinating, guys. All right, look at this team comp with me, carried by AFK. Kale ults the Kaisa or the Kha'zix as they dive the back line. But you also have Braum with heavy CC, Veigar AoE stun, and ult that can immediately execute some of the squishier members. There's some real possibilities from carried by AFK to do some heavy damage. Whereas for the side of Team Swarm, we've got a Lulu and a Varus on that bottom side. Interesting things here. Varus, very strong, wasn't banned away. Good played AD or AP. That's what a lot of people like him, especially even in the world's play-in stages. And then Lulu, one of those champions that it's very hard to keep an eye on. She's such a good harassment, as well as that wild growth ultimate is not what you're necessarily expecting when you're trying to dive someone, clean up a kill, especially if Kha'zix is wanting to get an assassination on. But Lulu drops the wild growth, doubles their health, doubles their size, CC knockups Kha'zix. There's a lot of opportunity to save the carries with that ultimate. I like that choice, and in addition to that, she always has the whimsy as well. That CC, so good at locking people down. Let's go ahead and roll through the players and their champions. For the side of carried by AFK, you've got Delicious Seal Maga taking the Kale in the top lane, Fallen Angel, YT16 with the Kha'zix in the jungle. Sky is up with the Veigar in the mid lane. Cod Diddles with Kaisa, bottom lane AD carry role. Let Me Play 2013, last but not least, coming out with the Braum support. For the side of Team Swarm, we've got Ryan, first from Team Reddit, coming out with Ornn in the top lane. Nep on that Lee Sin in the jungle. Never Say Forever with the Rise in the mid lane. Snitality with the Varus, bottom lane AD carry. Perfect name for a perfect role. And Steezy Doinks on the Lulu. And yes, it does taste like purple. All right, so looking at these compositions, carried by AFK needs to make sure Braum gets gold. And the reason why is that they need someone that can absorb the pressure from Team Swarm. Rise throwing out all of those attacks. If it hits a Braum shield, he can absorb a lot of it. And the best thing is that Ornn Horn can be completely mitigated by the Unbreakable from Braum. Excellent choices there. That said, Team Swarm has massive mobility. Ornn Horn can be engaged upon from a huge distance away and then repositioned. Lee Sin being able to jump out of nowhere with that Sonic Wave resonating strike, as well as ward hops. Rise ult going to be carrying the team around. They have good teamfight potential with the Varus ultimate into multi-man knockups from either the Lee Sin Dragon Rage kick or the Ornn Horn. And so, in combination to that, I really want to see some heavy mobility out of Team Swarm, rotating from the lanes, either the top lane with that teleport or the mid lane with that teleport, and try to make something happen early on in the game. The main reason why is that as it gets to the later and later stages of the game, the Kaisa, the Kha'zix, even a Kale can really come online, and don't forget Veigar's late game scaling. He's just going to keep getting AP no matter what's happening in the game, as long as he's killing minions. So keep an eye on these teams. Can carried by AFK kind of slow the game down, stall it out a little bit, maybe get off a couple of picks and assassinations from Kha'zix in the early side of the game to kind of take it until Kaisa can truly come online, or does Team Swarm use their massive mobility on the Ornn, the Rise, the Lee Sin to make some plays happen? And if either team was to invade, I think the carried by AFK has got a really good chance with that Braum and the passive of the concussive blows. Otter, have you rejoined us? Not yet. All right, that's totally cool. AFK is probably gonna not go AFK. I really hope the AFK does not go AFK, and I'm really not sure which team wins. It really comes down, at least in my analysis, to those individual lanes. Carried by AFK wants to keep the laning phase going as long as possible. Main reason is that you want to be getting as much farm onto the Vigar as you can. You really want to be letting Kale farm out as well. Let Braum slowly stack up his supportive item until he can start to get some tankier items because he's going to be your main front line. And laning gives Kha'zix, especially in the mid lane and top lane, the opportunity to get assassinations because of those solo characters. I wanted to call them carries, but yeah, I guess they're kind of solo carries. Ornn isn't really considered much of a carry. So lots of potential coming out from both of these teams. We're going to go ahead and fade it over into our loading screen so we can get a good view of these awesome skins coming out here. And if you give me 2 seconds, normally this is where my duocaster is doing some analysis, but I'm going to grab a screenshot of the teams. There we go.
Okay.
Hey, Otter is back. He is live. Talk to us, Otter. Perfect timing. Tell us about these teams and what your analysis is on who's going to win and why.
I'll have to look through because I've been messing with settings, trying to fix my mic. Oh, wow. Okay. Team Swarm has a really good team comp.
Tell us why.
They have a really strong front line with this Ornn, and then even if Kha'Zix or Veigar or Kaisa can get to this backline of Varus and Ryze, they have a Lulu to protect them, and then Lee Sin kick to just keep people away from it. So I have a feeling, unless they get super far behind early, that Team Swarm can take this one, especially in team fights. We'll see how the early game turns out. We'll see. Kha'Zix, that's pretty good in early game, but Lee Sin has strong early game, especially after he just got buffed on that Q. We'll see what damage he decides to go, or how much damage he can deal in this early game.
All right, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Hey, Rar resubbed for 4 months. Young Timmy had no idea where he needed to go. He was cold and hungry and tired. As he lost his footing from tripping on a branch, Timmy fell on his back and stared up into the starry night and thought to himself, came upon a star. He thought to himself, perhaps I should follow. You've said that one before, Rar. You've said that one before. I thought we were into game. We had a quick spectator error, but that's all right. We'll get right back into it. We do have that fancy new championship Kha'Zix skin coming out, as well as Bull Angel Kaisa. There we are, straight into game. So we're not going to do any super fancy activities, as we do have what appears to be an invade by red team. And woo, there goes the root, this early root from the Ryze. Forces out the flash, but Ornn's going to flash as well. So Ryan burning his flash for the flash of the support. Not exactly what you want to see, especially when you're not getting a kill, but I like the aggression from red team, especially when they came out and said, you know what, we're going to go for an invade. Normally, it's going to be blue side that wants to invade. Could have caught them out early. As it is, they're going to back away after trading flash for flash. And I don't think Ornn's going to be in too much of trouble, considering that he just kind of wants to sit and farm and scale over the course of the early portion of the game anyway.
I would like to see Kha'Zix try and move towards topside now that he doesn't have his flash. It would be tough though. Ornn will probably be pushed under tower due to the range advantage of Kale, but a good invade from them. They do have the early game jungler, or more early focused jungler, so we'll see how this plays out. I'm reconnecting, so.
All right. Wait, so you're not connected quite yet?
No, I got in and then it was just black. I couldn't see anybody, so I restarted.
Oh, okay.
I'm having all kinds of problems today. This is not good.
That's all right. It's not your first time on the stream. We'll still forgive you nonetheless. I'm also posting this to Twitter so that everyone can enjoy the awesome skins and know what's going down, as it is going to start out with just a little bit of a slower laning phase. Both teams really wanting to farm. Kale getting aggressed upon a little bit on the top side by the Ornn, as we talked about. I want to see the early rotations by red team. Lee Sin trying to make some plays, as well as using those teleports on the Ryze and the Ornn to try to make some plays happen. Something that we often see is that when people have teleports, especially when it comes to lower elo, they just don't do anything with it. And I'm not 100% sure why. It's better to at least attempt a play than to sit there with teleport for 10, 15 minutes and not do anything, as we see some aggression down on the bottom side. Fallen Angel dropped to about half. The rest of red team's chasing in. Fallen Angel should be able to get to the wall and flash over. Does, but the Ignite's taking away. Takes him down. Lulu able to steal it with that supportive Ignite as the Lee Sin hop to a ward, trying to chase it in, make sure they got that kill. So first blood over to the new team. Team Swarm coming out. Lee Sin got almost first blood, but it is going to go to that support of Lulu. Not exactly the best person to have it on. You really want it on that Lee Sin, whose early game damage can be so huge. As it is, though, Lulu, when she backs, going to be able to finish her supportive item a lot faster, which means more wards and more vision to know where that Kha'zix could run to. No game sound. What? Let me see if I can fix that. Give me just a second. All right, tell me if there's a little bit better now. As Lee Sin comes to the around the back, Let Me Play is in trouble, forced to back away, but the stun from Diddles, perfect timing. Now Let Me Play in trouble. Oh, this snipe from Snipetality is going to finish off the Braum. Good positioning with that Q as well. Lee Sin and the Varus dropped so incredibly low, but it's still going to be a second kill over to red side as Braum is dropped on the bottom side. So he not only took away the enemy team's Krugs, but then rotated to another quick gank. There we go. Oh, okay. Right, yeah, try to refresh. If you still can't hear it afterwards, I can pump up the audio a bit more. I can still pump it up more, guys. I'm not at a limit. I've got another 50 volume that I could go up. So we're not in any hurry. We're not in any hurry.
So I got spectated, so I'm casting from your stream.
Really?
Yes.
Can you join any? Are you friends with anyone?
I can't join anybody.
Oh, that is so weird.
So,
all right, so you'll just have to, I guess, cast from 3 seconds behind and enjoy analyzing what happens post team fights. But 2 kills to 0, about 1,000 gold lead so far, not insurmountable from Team Swarm. Give the breakdown though on this early action from the Lee Sin. All right, Sky is up in the mid lane, dropped fairly low. Now, Delicious Maga down to about half on the top side. Still getting pretty good aggression onto Ornn, pushing him back underneath the turret. But the Veigar in the mid lane, doing a little bit of dance moves, showing off those fancy feet he's got. Getting his dancing shoes on. Does have barrier, so if Ryze tries to go over aggression, he could maybe punish. But the key is he's going to need his jungler, considering the Veigar is extremely low mana. And now his jungler is going to be jumped on by Neb. Should be able to finish it off. He gets the small hop, the ward hop from Lee Sin, gets him really close in position. Veigar doesn't have any mana. He does have just enough for the stun, but it doesn't matter because Ryze has walked in. And Lee Sin dives underneath the turret, flashes forward. Is he going to go down to the turret? The shield keeps him alive. The minion damage is going to do it. And Sky is up, picks a trade kill for the Lee Sin. Ryze still able to now go 1-0-1 with that initial damage. But the play and aggression by Neb, 100% kill participation, and now 100% death participation too. This Lee Sin wants to be a part of everything. As Shadow Realms, new here, say hello. Thank you for joining us, hanging out as well. And Otter is trying to figure out what on earth is happening to his computer.
Everything's going bad. And then I think even the stream's like behind further than 3 seconds. So I'm like casting for like 6 seconds behind. Things not going well. I don't know what's happening.
If you want to just let go for the moment and do kind of like a computer restart and see if that sort of a thing will help, I can solo cast the first game and then you can pop in for the second. But if you want to hang out and just wait it out, that's totally cool too.
Okay, let's do that because I need to fix everything right now. Okay, I'll be back, everybody.
All right, so Otter's going to be back. We're going to solo cast the first game. Totally cool. As Lord Reeves comes in with a bunch of Halloween emotes. Oh, there we go. Woo! Now the volume actually jumped up massively, so we're going to drop that back down. Interesting. So you know what that means? You know what that means, guys? I think Skype does that. I think it's Skype. Someone let Otter know that I think that it's actually Skype that really wrecked everything. If he wants to try to come back, we could try to fix that, potentially. Interesting. All right, well, either way, we're going to solo cast this game. I'm still going to drop the volume down a little bit more because it's still pretty... Well, we'll leave it. We'll leave it as is. All right, back to the game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to drop this down so you guys don't have to see that the whole entire stream. It's just going to be a pretty background with Otter that has gone AFK. Don't leak Skype. No, it's totally cool. Someday you can teach me to shoutcast and I'll join you. Social, that sounds like a perfect plan. As Ryan in the top lane, down to about half health, has to dash his way back to the turret to stay safe. There hasn't been any jungler action on the top lane. They've really been an island on their own, which means that their farm is still fairly even between the two. Lee Sin hanging around the mid lane. So is the Kha'zix, waiting for an opportunity to see if they can impact that mid lane, trying to get as much jungle farm as possible. The Lee Sin up about 10, as he's just been so impactful so far this game. Ryan going to take a little bit of damage. Lee Sin to the backside, though, is going to find the Vigar, and woo, never say forever. Finishes off the Vigar with really good help from Neb, who's playing a fantastic Lee Sin. Rotates around behind the Vigar. Because we're solo casting, we can back this up, get a replay, see what happened there, and it is totally cool. It's actually one of the few things that I really like about solo casting the game. So if we watch Lee Sin over the wall, it's going to come in. Nice kick, sets it up, and still hits the Q because it's his minions there into the Rise snare as well. And he tries to steal it with a, I believe that was the Q. Doesn't matter though, because Rise has been able to finish it off. So great play out of Neb once again. Still 100% kill participation in the game. We check the gold, sitting at 3,400, which is over anyone else in the game. The main question is, can his aggression be matched by this Kha'zix, who's still trying to farm up? He's hit level 6, so is going to have some pretty decent evolutions coming through, probably on his jump, which is what a lot of people take, so that you can hop a further distance, and it's on that shorter cooldown. But we'll see what he decides to do with that. Bottom lane, fairly even in farm, about 7 to the Varus, so he's got a wave that he can still be picking off a couple more. So not terribly impacted by that early gank. Braum sitting at 14 farm has gotten the second part of his supportive item. So doing all right, about 2,000 gold lead for red team at the moment. Well, we were talking about those rotations from the mid lane and the top lane. Looks like their teleports to just get themselves back into lane as they're going to come to the bottom side now. Neb jumps with that shield to the Lulu, but as he got tagged up by that Winter's Bite from Braum, well placed, and having that ward save lives means that he's going to be backing away. So good note by the Braum to see where that Lee Sin's going and keep an eye on him. Kha'zix is now actually on the Drake. You could see Lee Sin trying to get a gank on him. He lands the Q, goes in, getting good damage. Kha'zix hops over the wall, and that's going to be Lee Sin out as well. It's a Wind Drake, which will help in rotations, but neither team desperate to go for it. Kha'zix tries to make a play, immediately backs out. We do have the blue Rise, picks up the blue buff. Lee Sin giving that over to his teammates. Always fun when your ninja jungler takes it for the cooldowns, guys. It's totally for the cooldown. All right, Lee Sin and the rest of his team, 4 members, going to be hopping onto the Cloud Drake down here. Looks like the Ornn has jumped down here as well, walking down from the top side as they've traded lanes. Vigar heads to the top side, and Kayle comes into the mid, trying to reposition Kayle, thinking maybe that she can do a better job with that ultimate. I don't know why I'm not on D. Instead, I'm still watching the Lee Sin. There we go, back out to the overall game action as Ryan heads towards back to the top side. Can he deal with the Vigar as they have traded lanes? Looks like he feels confident enough to go for it. Thank you, Social, for letting him know that, yeah, it is pre-made teams. Otter seems to be back. What's going on?
Does it sound fine? I just really want to test what max sounds like right now.
It's super max volume, which I can drop you down, so you're not having to worry too much. No, I can drop you down to a reasonable level, but otherwise it still seems overall fine. And if you want to, you can turn on your webcam, but you can't actually. I don't think you can
so
loud this game. Yeah, it's very loud.
Oh my god.
I'm dropping you down.
It sounds better though, for sure. Yeah.
Much better. I think it's Skype, honestly. I really think that it was Skype that was screwing both my in-game audio and your audio over. So we may have to find a different video third-party program like what we were trying to do with Skype, but just a different way to do it, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay, though. Again, stream. This is what we do. We're testing stuff out. We're discovering new things. We're pushing the boundaries of what streams can do. Not only are we a shoutcasting stream, but we're pushing the boundaries of what a simple, not corporation-owned stream can manage. And so, you know what? Sometimes that takes testing some things out. as it is 1 kill to 5, 2,000 gold lead for red team. But we are getting to the point where blue has been able to kind of stall it out. And again, that's kind of their main objective. They want this Kaisa to be farming up for the late game. They want to get their Kha'zix starting on a roll. Now, if he engages in a couple more fights, that would be great, rather than being caught out by that Lee Sin. As it stands, though, he's still going to be rotating around the map, looking for where to jump into.
I still can't enter the game, but I can do what I can from outside. Oh wait, what happened to my leg? Oh no, my headset.
All right. NEB coming to the top side. Neb misses the Sonic Wave. The Ornn Horn also not going to do much besides burning the flash from the Veigar, who's now rotated and has been hanging out on that top side. 85 farm. It's going to be a little bit skewed. You're going to have to cross your eyes a little bit to get to the farm between those two laners, considering that Kale has rotated towards the mid. But that's one of the nice things about taking something like a Kale, is that you can rotate her around the map without too much difficulty. But with the flash being burned on the Veigar, there's opportunity for Lee Sin to get a repeat gank on that upper side if he wants to. Though it looks like he's headed towards that bottom side, maybe positioning for his farm that should be appearing in the not too distant future. Rift Herald's still on the map, so it's going to be a little bit before anyone runs up there. But red side do have a bunch of wards around it, and that's something they've been doing fairly good this game. Besides the bottom lane, which of course has that supportive Braum, so he's got plenty of wards to drop. The rest of the map, red side's been fairly effective about getting that vision down and keeping it. You can see they've got 2 to 3 control wards around that riverside as well. Thank you. Yeah, DM me or Otter, but if you DM me the team as well as their ranking and everything, that's super, super helpful, and I will get right on that. As Neb trying to steal away a little bit of those Raptors, he's going to be chased out by the mid laner and the Kha'zix. In the top lane, Veigar going to be dropped down to half. Ornn with a good spell rotation gets that Molten Brittle effect, and then just kind of slams right through, dealing that damage to Veigar. Oh, he gets a nice knockup as well. Here comes the Brittle a second time. He's avoiding the stun, though. He flashes forward over the wall. The broken stopwatch actually keeps the Veigar alive for the moment, but Ornn still picks it up. A beautiful play by Ryan on the top side. Solo kills the Veigar. And now Kha'zix running around, seeing if he can get the first assassination off of the game. He does get knocked up, though, by Ornn. Massive damage from the Ornn. He's going to miss it, but Kha'zix still gets him with the Q, chasing him down, assassinating him. The Varus ultimate comes through, locking up both bottom laners. Lee Sin's in here, kicking the Braum back. Doesn't quite hit the Kaisa. She's trying to get what damage she can down onto the Varus, but he's got the wild growth, so he's not going to be dropping. Let me play. Throws up the shield, but doesn't matter. Still taken out. The Lee Sin on a rampage so far this game. 2, 1, and 4 has done a beautiful job of impacting so many fights and ganking once again on that bottom side. The wild growth from Lulu turning around the fight. He didn't need to overlap the barrier and stopwatch. No, that's very fair, actually. Very fair. A little bit overexcited, perhaps. A little bit overexcited, so you just kind of mash everything. Trust me, I've done it plenty of times myself, guys. Plenty of times myself. First turn of the game, gonna go over to red side bottom, getting the Varus, the solo gold on it, as well as the mid lane turret solo gold going to go over to Rise as well. So red team really starting to scale up. Now 5,000 gold in the lead, can keep this aggression up, can rotate their direction and power over to the dragon, which is now going to be a mountain drake spawning in the next 40 seconds. Thank you, Pats Are Best, for the follow. Appreciate that. Just pat yourself on the head and rub your tummy at the same time. Can you guys do that? I'm super skilled, guys. The main thing, this isn't so hard. The really hard thing is switching. So you gotta switch to patting yourself on the stomach and rubbing yourself on the head. And then, after doing that for a couple of seconds, then you gotta switch right on back. So patting and rubbing. Ooh, I got mixed up for a second there. I mixed up for a second. I'm decent at it. I've been better at it before. All right, back to the game. 2 kills to 8 red team. 6 kills in the lead, 5,000 gold lead. Mountain Drake spawning as they're positioning around it. Lulu Varus covering the bottom side. Rise and Lee on the top side. But blue team not ready to give it up just yet. Carried by AFK. Still positioning close, but not in. It looks like they are, though, when that Mountain Drake gets burned down super quickly, which means soon, Rift Herald as well as Baron going to be a lot easier as Ornn goes in, hitting that Kale. They're going back and forth. Kale's being dropped fairly low, though, continues the aggression onto Ryan. Does Ryan decide to go back in? Ornn does have the ultimate available, decides not to use it, as Lolmeister and Sailing Drake coming in with the follows as well. Appreciate all of it. Guys, as there's so many of you new followers, let me explain very quickly. Tonight is team games, so these are going to be some scrim nights. These are going to be games in which you guys, as teams, can participate. You come up with your own team name, you bring your own 5 players, and you just kind of scrim it up, and we record overall how you do. But Tuesdays, every Tuesday night is open queue. Anyone can join of any rank. We shoutcast a bunch of fun games. We've always done some ridiculous stuff. Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As we get engaged from the Ornhorn, gonna come through Lee Sin, trying to find Vigar on the back line, but he gets ulted by Kayle. Skye is up, still alive. The ult, the killer instinct from Kai'Sa only gets herself killed as she's been taken out by Lee Sin. Rise, finishing off the Kha'zix. So Fallen Angel going to fall himself, and red team with a nice victory are going to walk away. I don't think they got the Rift Herald through that, so we're going to actually back up and check what happened to the Rift Herald. Rise was able to pick it up, so I guess we are not going to back it up, as he's going to be spawning that on the top side. Shelly getting a nice charge down to the turret, drops it down to a quarter health in 1 hit. Never Save Forever going to charge right up and help finish off that turret. Mid lane, second tier going to fall as well, and it looks like Team Swarm is swarming all over the map. Now 5 members headed to the top side, looking to get that Shelly second charge onto the second tier turret and pick up their 5th turret of the game. Professor Papaya, thank you for the follow. Love the name as well. Your follow over sound reminds me of Protoss. Not quite. It's a League character that says all those quotes. If you can pick out that League character, that'd be pretty impressive. Ornn, gets 2 members knocked up on that bottom side. Braum now joining, trying to reposition onto the Shelly. They do take that little crab, or giant crab as it were, out before the charge comes out. So, red team with our 5th turret of the game are going to back away. They did get that return kill onto Ornn, but considering they'd only picked up 1 kill earlier, there's no shutdown gold for them. So even still, it's continuing to go well into Team Swarm's favor. They've got the repositioning, they've got everything they need. No Rise ultimate used just yet, but as Baron's going to be spawning in a minute 13, you can bet that there's going to be some movement and action around there. Vel'Koz, did I say Vel'Koz? No, it's not Vel'Koz. Hey, Pats are best is the first one to pull it out. It is the Azir. Azir says those quotes sounds like Azir or Vel'Koz. Yep, you guys got it. Social, it was me. Oh no. I like that, Social. Yes, it is Azir. And you know the reason why I picked Azir for those quotes, guys? The reason why is because I'm kind of building a mini army here. XLNC is going to become an army. We're going to change the face of League of Legends. For those of you who are new, there's so many new follows, and I appreciate it. Hanging out, watching, and probably participating as well. XLNC is dedicated to building the most non-toxic, fun-friendly environment that you can. These are custom games. There's nothing on the line. You literally lose nothing in these games. They're all about having fun, grabbing some picks. One of our favorite things to play when I play in games on this stream is Ultimate Bravery, which is completely crazy. All Azir soldiers go to hell? What? No, we're not. No one's going to hell. As we do see some action, the ultimate from Lulu keeping herself alive. Fallen Angel trying to get in, cannot find the assassination. Now Lee Sin to the backside of the Vigar. His barrier keeps him alive for the moment. He's trying to finish off the Lulu, but he's going to be sniped down by Snapetality. Of course, he picks it up as Delicious Maga now on that top side, going to be dropped extremely low. Neb in trouble on the bottom side, though. Diddle's going to be dropped. Snipetality's got free reign on all the firing, shooting down, sniping away with those Qs. Finishes off a triple kill on the bottom side as Rise ports himself and the Ornn and the minions straight into the top side turret, so they should be able to take that down as the bottom side second tier under fire by Team Swarm. They do not give up the pressure. They keep it going. It is continuing to blow up for the side of team carried by AFK, and you know what their problem is, guys? It's so obvious. It's so obvious, guys. The problem with AFK is that they didn't have someone go AFK. If they had an AFK, then they would have been carried by the AFK. It makes total sense, guys. Total sense. So, as red side is going to move forward, Neb throwing out that Sonic Wave. Will he take it? Will it be the Lee Syndrome? Looks like he's going to let it go as they're going to back away, leave that inhibitor open on the bottom side, moving right back into the jungle. Baron is live in a minute on that Drake, which we're going to scan over very quickly and check out what is. It's a second Mountain Drake, which would mean that we have even more pressure on the Baron if the side of Team Swarm picks it up, which they most likely will. 15 kills to 3, a dominating 13,000 gold lead. Now, don't forget, guys, that they were fairly even in ranking. So this is one of those games that when you play ranked and you just have everything go wrong and everyone does their best, and yet the game still goes completely haywire. Trust me, it happens a lot. That's why I'm on a losing streak in ranked. It just sometimes happens. The right champions in the right lanes, the right time, and really a lot of this was built off of Neb, who's done a fantastic job. And if you give me just a second, I wanted to finish the tweet that I posted, or I was trying to post in a second ago at the beginning of the game, so I guess it wasn't really a second ago. I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short and sweet. As they engage on the top side, Ornn flashing over the wall. Ooh, the kill! The ultimate keeps Fallen Angel alive, flashes out of danger for the moment. And so Ryan is going to not get the kill as the Drake's picked up by Rise on the red team. I got so much that I'm trying to do. Normally when I've got my duo caster, I can do it while he's talking. As it is, though, there's the tweet. Cool. If you guys follow down below the Twitter account, you see all those posts of Delicious Seal, or Delicious Maga. Sorry, I got distracted by the Delicious Seal. Delicious crew. Able, with the help of the rest of the team, or at least those 4 members, to be able to pick up the Ornn. And now on that bottom side, Inhibitor is going to be finished off by Team Swarm. They've gotten the repositioning. They saw the Ornn, sacrificed him, the sacrificial mountain goat god? Question mark? Was given over as the mid lane and turret's going to be under fire now with a huge minion wave coming in. The rest of the team's going to move forward. They don't have the greatest of siege comps. A little bit of harass on the Rise, a little bit of harass from the Varus. They actually force out the Lee Sin flash. Blue team collapsing as 5, but it's 2 lanes with super minions going to be pouring in. All Team Swarm needs to do is just delay, wait for those super minions to crash, and the game will be a lot easier for them to break down.
My soldiers march on!
Eru Balhor, what a name. Eru Balhor, thank you for the follow, love the name. There's the Braum ultimate. Glacial Fish are going to knock up 2, the exhaust onto Neb. Can he find that kick, though? The Vigar's already dropped low. Kha'zix should be finished off. He helps the safety, but Snipetality gets the last auto attack. Kha'zix is going to go down, and that's Team Swarm swarming through the base. Do they need the mid lane inhibitor? No, they do not, but they're going to take it anyway. Never Say Forever finally gets dropped by the Vigar ultimate. He gets shut down gold, but he's not going to be able to do much when spending it because the game is pretty much already over. First Nexus turret's going to drop. He throws out the stun. It's not going to land on anyone, only holds them in place for a moment, and now they're going to be turning onto the turret as Snipetality 7-0-4, no deaths, crushes down the game, and that is Team Swarm with our first victory on the stream. Huge congratulations and GG to them for playing a ridiculous game, and a lot of that was built solidly off of the Lee Sin, Neb, making those early plays, and then their bottom lane, no deaths. That is just some immaculate play as Otter is here. Welcome back, Otter. As you're looking at the stats, tell me overall, just what are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking on that?
Looking at the stats, just great play all around from Team Swarm. Especially that bottom lane, having no deaths, especially in this meta on an AD carry, is very, very impressive. So props to Snipetality on that, Varus.
Oh, I'm looking for... Why don't you do MVPs and honorable mentions really quick? So for those of you that are
just looking
new...
at stores.
well, okay, I'll do them in just a second. If you guys give me just a moment. I'm trying to, again, normally with my duocaster, there's a little bit more going on, but what I'm going to do now is put together a very quick straw poll for you guys. What we're starting to do on the stream is allow the viewers to engage as well in picking out what they think are the MVPs and honorable mentions of the game. The other reason that we do it is we keep a record of total MVPs, total honorable mentions, and it kind of shows and gives a little bit of an opportunity to pick out those players that kind of played a step above and did a really, really good job. So if you give me 2 more seconds, I'll finish making this one that you guys can vote in. And there's a little something at the end of the stream, potentially. I'm not going to get too deep into it, guys, but I'll just say that there's a really good reason for voting. You really want to vote in this thing, and I'll explain later on into the evening as I'm finally finished. There we go. Create the poll, copy pasta into the stream summary. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Thank you, Sailing Drake, for the 50 bits. I appreciate that a lot. Let's remind you to make the poll during Champ Select. Vanquish LOL, that would be fantastic. Again, a lot of chaos was happening a little bit because there was Otter was having his own issues. But again, it's quite all right. We were testing out Skype. Ladies and gentlemen, if you decide to stream something like this, don't use Skype. Lesson learned, guys. Lesson learned. Don't use Skype. It's outdated for a reason. This is why everyone uses Discord. All right. MVPs and honorable mentions for the losing team, always starting off. Honorable mention, I'm going to give over to, as I break it down for just a second. All right. I'm going to give it to Sky is Up. Main reason why for Sky is Up is mostly because the rotations. Really tried to go where the pressure was going, headed to the top lane, loved the trade call by the Vigar and the Kale to try to trade lanes because he saw that the Kale was struggling a lot. That he was struggling a lot, so he makes the proactive decision to try to head to the top side. Yes, it's a lot easier to get kills on him, but it still was something that a lot of people, when they're starting to lose a lane, will just continue to feed and feed and feed and feed if things are going very, very, very poorly. Instead says, let's actually do something active and try to do something unique here and head instead towards that top side.
They said they want you to make 2 so you can vote for both teams.
Vote for each individual team? Okay, if you, Otter, if you want to make the straw poll for both individual teams, you can do that, and you guys just re-vote on those 2
Here,
individual teams.
I'll make a new one.
I appreciate that. I know that there is multiple voting, but it doesn't work so well. 50 votes on the winning team. All right, MVP is going to go over to Delicious Maga. Main reason on that, as very simply put, is because almost no deaths. Sure, she has an ultimate that makes her invulnerable, so you could give her a little bit of benefit there, but rotations, highest farm, just overall played a solid game. Didn't even have the highest kills in the game. Still active, rotated towards that mid lane, and just having no deaths shows really good knowledge of both the champion and the ability to kind of play around where the team is going. For the winning team, because I don't want to take all night with this, going to give the honorable mention over to, hard to say it, but I'm going to say it, Snipetality for a beautifully done virus. Really, one of the things about the virus Q, you can say and argue that, oh, it's got good range, it's got massive damage, it's easy to snipe people, but I've played virus a bit. It's not the easiest skill to hit. And that said, he also used his ultimate at really, really, really good times and on effectual people in those team fights.